Welcome everyone to Merri Bowl in Livonia for the exciting opening rounds of the Bowling Showcase Challenge, Merri Bowl Region. I'm your host, Mark Martin, and thanks for joining us for this very exciting competition. To start off, I'd like to thank our host center, Merri Bowl, for being our first regional center. Stop by sometime, bowl a few games, and tell them that Bowling Showcase sent you. Now on to the bowling. Now over the course of this season, you'll be watching 16 hand-picked adult teams go head-to-head in single-game elimination matches. Now those 16 teams, they're divided into two regions named after our respective host centers. The Merri Bowl region and the Super Bowl region. Now we start this competition with 8 teams representing the Merri Bowl region. The home team, Merri Bowl, last year's runner-up, Waterford Lanes, Mayflower Lanes, Rose Bowl Family Affair, Thunder Bowl Lanes, Rose Bowl Monopoly, Team Ansara, and two-time defending Bowling Showcase champions, Woodland Lanes. So we start the region with 8 teams, then 4, and then finally the winner of the last Merri Bowl regional match will earn the right to represent Merri Bowl in the final season-ending championship match. So let's take a look at today's first round matchup. This week's bowling battle features Mayflower Lanes and Rose Bowl Family Affair. Mayflower Lanes returns to our challenge with a high-powered lineup of bowlers and friends. Rose Bowl Family Affair returns with their own high-powered lineup of league standouts. It's a West Side versus East Side showdown between these two high-scoring teams. So there you have it. Once again, joining me for all this bowling action is former Team Canada member, Women's Series standout, and recently elected Michigan State Hall of Famer, Robin Orlikowski. I'm going to move down lane side, get a little bit better view. We'll be right back with the start of the match after these messages on Bowling Showcase. The Michigan State USBC provides tournament competition and recognition for men, women, and youth bowlers in Michigan. The adult championship events for this season include the Open Championship, starting in January at Merri Bowl in Livonia and Westland Bowl in Westland, and the Women's Championship, starting in February at Northway Lanes and Sherman Bowling Center in Muskegon. Visit MichiganStateUSBC.com for entry blanks and more information on the Michigan State USBC.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name is Rich Glom, managing partner of Merri Bowl Lanes. And on behalf of my entire team, we're pleased to host this year's 2019 Bowling Showcase Challenge. At this time, we'd like to turn it over to Mark Martin and Robin at the Metro Detroit USBC. Take it away, Mark.
Okay, welcome back to week 2 of round 1 of the Merri Bowl region. This week, we've got the Family Affair team from Rose Bowl and Mayflower Lanes. So how do you see this one shaping up? Can it top last week?
Well, it could always top last week because we didn't have a 300. But you always have more fun when you're bowling, or you bowl better when you're having more fun. So maybe the family people, they're going to have a little bit more camaraderie. So maybe they're going to bring it a little bit more.
And we'll see what happens. So up on the left-hand lane is the leadoff bowler. Well, looks like we've got the Mayflower team on the left. That's correct. And the Rose Bowl team on the right. Tiffany Stout leading off for the Mayflower team. High average 213.
Her nickname cracks me up. Her nickname is Naughty Girl.
Well, Naughty Girl leaves the 7-pin, the wiggling 7.
And the stomping didn't help. We're always trying to stomp the pin to make it fall, but it doesn't. But so her nickname is Naughty Girl, and I asked her, like, why is that? And I was almost like, should I know? But she said because she likes to talk smack to all the guys. So the guys are the ones that actually gave her
that nickname. Got it.
So she's going to hook into this ball, or into this pin here with her ball.
And covers it easily.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, this Family Affair team, as it turns out, is 4 of the 5 members of this team are in the same family.
That's awesome. So Jessica, who likes to be called Jess, She's really excited to be bowling with her dad and husband today.
So Jessica's up on the right-hand lane. Her high average is 201, been bowling for 21 years. And she leaves the 7 pin.
A little light into the pocket there. She really likes to spend some of her free time photographing nature, and she also crochets.
Well, that's kind of calming.
It is, yes, very nice. I think because sometimes in bowling he gets so intense and competitive.
That's for sure.
Something to lower your stress level might be nice.
Uh-oh.
She hooks into it.
Ooh.
Looks like she just leaked that a little further to the right, so it didn't give it enough time to get
She did.
into the pin enough.
Okay, up on the left-hand lane for the Mayflower Lanes team, their team nickname, the Smurfs, is Brendan Kirchhoff. Brendan is in the management team at Mayflower Lanes.
Okay, he went a little light too. Now he leaves a 2-8 here, and this one makes it a little bit more difficult because you have the 8 pin behind. So you really have to be heavy on the 2 pin to make sure that the ball takes out the 8 pin behind it.
So Brendan's a two-hander, and I'm assuming he's going to hook into this spare.
Yeah, so he actually just changed to be a 2-hander, and I asked him why. He said it just felt more comfortable, and he just felt like he was more consistent with his delivery.
Okay, so Jess's husband, Jeff Coloni, is up now on the right-hand lane. High average 221. Been bowling for 33 years. Couple of 300 games.
High series of 787.
Comes high, leaves the 3, 6, 7, 10 split.
Looked like
Makeable, but what would you do?
it's definitely a tougher spare to pick up. So there's two ways to go about this, I think. So you can either stay to the right and use a straighter ball or a plastic ball and go up the lane to hit the right side of the 3 pin, so it kicks over to the 7. Or you can stand left and go across lane to it. So
he's going to go across lane. Oh, just missed it.
yeah, he gives himself a shot, but he just didn't get the ball far enough to the right to kick that pin over into the 7.
The third bowler for the Mayflower Lanes team, Cedric Mann. He's a high average of 222. Been bowling for 10 years.
So he took a little break in bowling. He went to college and he played football at Olivet. He's very proud that he received his bachelor's degree from Olivet in business administration. Now he has a different approach here. He's pushed way up on the approach.
Leaves a 7 pin also.
That pesky 7 is really sticking a lot for both lanes right now.
It is just like Tiffany back in the first frame there, a little bit light, and Jess Coloni for the Family Affair team, a little bit light, leave the 7 pin. So he has an extremely short approach.
Sometimes when people do that, it's because they have too much speed. And they want to control, like slow themselves down a little bit.
Good cover by Cedric. John Postel up for the Family Affair team on the right-hand lane. High average 236.
If you're into gambling, you might see him at the MGM downtown. He's a tables games floor manager there.
Leaves the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10.
So what happened there was he was throwing the ball so hard and so fast that it went past the break point. So the break point is down the lane. So you see those darker indicator spots. That's when your ball is going to start to move left. His just kept going straight, and that's why it left the 6 pin in there as well.
He tries to hook across. It just takes out the 1, 2, 4. So the Family Affair team got 3 open frames to start this match, 26 through 3. The Mayflower team has 3 spares, so they have a 31-pin lead at this point. Ali Khan Harper up on the left-hand lane for the Mayflower team, high average 220.
He's actually gone back-to-back 300 a few times.
That's pesky 10 pin, solid 10 pin.
So it jumped from the 7 to the 10 now, so.
That's right. That was a really good ball. Mayflower Lane's team leading by 30.
He has around 12,800 series to his name with a high of 832.
And a good cover on that 10 pin.
And did a little double take, making sure that he picked it up.
So last week we saw 16 strikes in the match. This week, through 3.5 frames, we haven't seen a strike.
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
Well, you know, everybody's focus is different. The nerve level could be a little different. Everybody's game is different.
Charles Goss up on the right-hand lane for the Family Affair team. And there's our first strike.
You just had to talk about it, and that's when it happens.
That's right.
This
well,
squeaky
Family
wheel.
Affair team needed that really bad after 3 open frames.
They for sure did. Yeah, hopefully that gives them the motivation to continue to get marks.
That's right. So the anchor bowler now for the Mayflower Lanes team up on lane 4 here at Merri Bowl, Denard Calmise.
His nickname is Rev Rate. I asked him why. I think we're about to see here in a minute. He says he throws it around 20 miles an hour with 600 RPMs. I like that he's taking his time. He's really trying to focus here. Good in these situations. Nice.
And a big strike for Denard.
Great shot.
So CJ Haller now up for the Family Affair team on the right-hand lane. CJ drove the furthest to get here. He lives up in Wolverine, Michigan. Been bowling for ever, 64 years. High average of 225.
He was such a joy to talk to before the show. I asked him, why do you drive so far to bowl? And he said he just loves the people. And so he was away and he just missed it so much that he dedicated himself to drive down every Thursday to bowl with his friends and family at the center.
Well, it's a good thing his daughter lives in town. He probably comes down and sees his daughter once a week.
Yeah. Yeah, he said they all bowl at Rose Bowl as well.
Yep. I've known CJ for a number of years, and he is a very pleasant guy.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. So we've come to the break, and the break does not look good for the Family Affair. Family Affair down by 44 pins. Mayflower, 76 through 4, strike up in the 5th. Family Affair, 52 through 5. So what does the Family Affair team have to do to get back into this match?
I think if they can just really zone in and just try to keep the ball to the right side of the head pin, they're all right-handed bowlers, and try to keep it clean so they can pick up their spares. Just pick up your spares to at least put some pressure on.
Teams are going to switch lanes. We'll be right back after these messages for the second half of the match after these messages.
Won a lot of professional tournaments. We won a lot of tournaments worldwide. I mean, we won more in the last 10 years worldwide than any company. We make good bowling balls, and good players use our bowling balls because they can win with them.
Okay, here we are in the back half of this match, the second match of the first round. The Family Affair team has now moved to the left-hand lane. They're going to start off the second half of the match. The Mayflower team on the right-hand lane. Like you said before the It's going to be one ball at a time here for these people.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen in the back half here. You're changed lanes. Hopefully, you're changing your juju up. You put that picket fence up on on the score screen. Let's see what they do.
You can't do that on these things anymore. That's a darn shame. Jessica Coloni up on the left-hand lane. Jess works at Delora Brothers. Works sales for Delora Brothers. Local distributorship of all things bowling in the Detroit market.
Yes. Her high game is 298, and she really would like to get a 300.
And she crosses over and gets a strike. But again, it makes no difference as long as they go down.
It's an X up there. Doesn't matter.
That's right. So now Naughty Girl is up. Oh, I'm sorry. Tiffany Stout up on lane 5 for the Mayflower Lanes team. Back in the first frame, she left the 7-pin and made it. Let's see what she does here.
I like her approach, nice and slow, deliberate.
She leaves a 10-pin.
So that ball, I think she really tried to place that ball and wanted to make sure that she got it into the pocket. And so the rotation on it was just a little flat. But she changes ball. She's going to use a spare ball or plastic ball here and go across the lane and go straight at it. Looks like it hung up on her thumb just a little bit. Missed it. But the good thing for them is that they have a bunch of marks, and
they do. They had
one open may not hurt them.
Had a 43-pin lead coming in. Jeff Coloni, Jessica's husband, up on lane 4 here at Merri Bowl, working on a strike for that family affair team. Solid 4-pin.
Right. So a 4-pin, when you're a right-hander, leaving a 4-pin is a good indication that you're in the right part of the lane, the right part of the, you just need like one small little tweak, maybe like a board left with your feet and keep your eyes the same. You just came a little high on the head pin.
Yep.
So he works for American Axle, delivering power. He's an engineer, and his goal is to get an 800 series. He's real close with a 787 as his high series.
Okay, good cover by Jeff. Brandon Kirchhoff up on the right-hand lane for the Mayflower team. Again, Brandon is in management at Mayflower. We appreciate all of the teams and all of the support for Bowling Showcase.
Oh, absolutely. A fun fact about Brendan is that he played baseball growing up. Oh, nice. He trips a 2-pin forward. And he played at some Major League Baseball fields. He didn't play in Major League, but he played at them. And I'm like, that's pretty cool.
It is. It is. Up on the left-hand lane for the family affair team from Rose Bowl, John Postel. John lives in Dearborn, bowls at Rose Bowl. Leaves the bucket, the 2, 4, 5, 8.
So that went pretty long. Just never really read the lane too much from my angle here.
So it looked like to me too.
Leaving the bucket, it can be a difficult spare to pick up just because there's multi-pins. Plus you got the pin in the back, the 8-pin. But he has no problem doing it.
Nope, covers it easily. Okay, the Mayflower team working on a strike now. 104 through 6, strike up in the 7th. Cedric Mann up on the right-hand lane, lane 5 here at Merri Bowl.
I asked him, what does he like about bowling, or why does he like bowling so much? And he says it's respect. He likes the respect of bowling well, and he's always working at his game.
Solid 10-pin.
He also wants to, he's a perfectionist. He wants to be perfect at everything that he does. So I said, oh, so you're a type A personality, aren't you? He's like, well, yeah. But he just thinks that there's always room for improvement.
Lines up with his spare ball now for that 10-pin. Covers it easily. You saw him walk right away because he knew when he let it go that it was going down.
I wasn't sure if it hung up on his thumb there with how much loft he had.
No, it looked like it for a second, but as soon as he turned around, I knew he had it.
He knew it.
That's right. Charles Goss now up on the left-hand lane for the Family Affair team. Time to step on the gas here.
Yeah.
Goss will step on the gas.
He's currently he's coaching
Oh, he was at 10 pin.
in the high school bowling. It's his first year to do it, and I asked him, like, what do you want to get out of it? What are your goals with the team? And he said he just wants to have a competitive team. He wants to teach them. He wants them to love the game as much as he does. So I think when you're passionate about this sport, you can't help but ooze that love for it, and I'm sure those kids will love it as much as he does too. Great.
Nice cover by Charles, or Charlie as he likes to be known. Now up on the right-hand lane, Ali Khan Harper. The Mayflower team working on a spare.
Seemed to get that a little right, but it read the lane and got back to the pocket really well. He
definitely
loves to travel. I asked him where does he like to go, or where does he want to go, and he wants to go to Costa Rica soon. He's really looking forward to visiting other cultures and appreciating what they have. Likes to see nice sceneries.
Very nice. Mayflower with a 37-pin lead, working on a strike. C.J. Haller now up for the Family Affair team from Rose Bowl, up on that left-hand lane. Leaves the 10-pin. So C.J. back in the 5th frame, left the 4-7, and unfortunately came up a little bit short. Well, here's his chance to kind of redeem himself. Even though the match is over, you always want to go out on a good note.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to try to be as clean as possible. Help your team whenever you can. He's been married for 42 years. Very proud of that. Has 4 children.
Yeah, and he covers up that 10-pin. He was telling me before that, you know, he's got problems with his knees. He's got problems with he had a hip replacement. His dog bit his thumb a few years ago, and his right thumb severed a tendon, I think it was.
Wow.
He ended up bowling left-handed for a few years and has gone back to right-handed now.
Nice. Oh, come on.
And he
go.
carries the strike.
What a way to end.
That's right. 146 for the Family Affair team. Mayflower 144 through 8, strike up in the 9th, has a max score of 204.
So I asked Rev Rate here, Denard,
Denard Calmes.
who got him started in bowling, and he said it was his father. But also, Kenneth McMillan also helped mentor him, got him started into the game. And he hadn't seen him for about 10 years. He ran into Kenneth and caught up with him, had a conversation for about an hour. And I said, how did that feel? You know, and he said it was just surreal. It was great. So that's nice that, you know, you can still have those connections with the people who introduced you to the sport.
Denard is a manager at the Bowlers Mart Pro Shop at Plum Hollow Lanes. Comes up high, leaves the 3-6.
I do like how much time he takes on the lane just to get himself set and to get into that mindset. I think something that's very important that maybe not all bowlers do is a pre-shot routine. So, you know, if you do the same thing every time, it gets you into that zone mentally of what you need to accomplish when you step up onto the approach.
Pre-shot routine is fine until it becomes excessive.
Well, I mean, if you're taking 3 minutes to go through your routine, then yeah.
I mean, I agree. It's just like in golf. They talk about in golf where you step up to the tee box and you envision the shot.
Yes.
Bowling is much the same way. You get up there, you envision the shot.
Yeah, I mean, in bowling, a lot of times the mental game, if you can have a strong mental game, a lot of times you can out-bowl other people. You may not be the best bowler physically, but if you have a good mental game and you can keep your, you know, levels of highs and lows in check, it can really play to your advantage.
Denard is a staffer for Turbo Grips, too. You see on his shoulder, he's got his little Turbo Grips
Patch.
patch. Again, he's a pro shop operator. So the final score in this match, Mayflower, the Smurfs, win 186 to 146 over Family Affair from Rose Bowl.
Well, I mean, there was some struggles there. I think this is what happens in bowling.
It does.
Sometimes you get real good games and real high games, and sometimes you get some lower games.
You know, making sausage is not always pretty, right? So I'm gonna kind of equate this win by Mayflower to making sausage.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, we'll be back after these messages. We'll talk to the team about that and see what they've got to say on Bowling Showcase. So we're here with the Mayflower Lanes team. Congratulations on winning in the first round. Denard Calmese. Denard, what do you got to say for your team here?
Well, you know what? We put together some really great shots. We made really easy spares, and we put together strikes when we needed them.
Right. It wasn't pretty. It was like making sausage is what I've got to say about that.
Absolutely.
So what do you have to say about that?
Sometimes the sausage is spicy. Sometimes it's a little sweet and might have beer in it.
That's right.
Such is life.
So what kind of sausage was this?
We made the sausage that's going to make us to the next round.
There you go. So congratulations once again, and we'll see you in the semifinals.
Thank you so much, Mark.
All right. So I got my sausage in. See, the team thinks it was a sausage-making match.
It tastes good when you get a W for a win.
It does. It certainly does. So next week, we have the two-time defending champion Woodland Lanes team against the other Rose Bowl team, thanks to Tiffany Miller. Tiffany puts a couple teams in each year. This one will be the Monopoly team. If you remember, Fred Daniels, you'll see him next week on Bowling Showcase. What do you got to say?
I'm excited. I can't wait. I mean, just every match is just slightly different, yet exciting.
It does. So we'll see you next week on Bowling Showcase Challenge here from the Merri Bowl region. See you then.